probably be like 152, 153, something along those lines.
So this is Natalie? Is that
Yes.
Yeah.
All right, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good, thanks. I'm Pete. I'm doing the software here.
Oh.
The nature of adaptive rowing is such that there are isolated pockets in different places where there's fabulous stuff being done in terms of on-water rowing, erg rowing, and to this day, it's still like that. These independent pockets, they're doing great things, but they're working in a vacuum, and they're not really sharing as much knowledge as they could. And so I found an opportunity at Concept 2 with our website to try and pull some of these different groups together and help share the knowledge that's out there, share the information, the hands-on, how do you get a person from the dock, out of a wheelchair into a boat. Same thing with an erg. Concept 2's mission statement is to promote rowing, make it accessible to all folks. And this is a perfect way to do that and a perfect path for that mission statement.
The way John gets taped in, he has to finish his workout. He cannot get off the machine. Anytime you've done an erg piece and you want to get up and walk away, think about not having that option. John brings a football player's mentality to this thing, and it is just amazing to see the stroke rate he puts on this thing. Oksana Masters out of Louisville, Kentucky. Very pretty name, very pretty girl. You wouldn't know it, 7th year rowing. I didn't think she looked that old, but it's...
I know. I have two bilateral, I'm called a bilateral Niedersachtig, which means I'm missing both of my legs through the knee. And when I was originally adopted from Ukraine, and they think that it was Chernobyl that caused all this to happen. I was born with the legs, but the legs were not, really, they couldn't be saved pretty much. They were no use. So I got them taken off when I came to America. And then I was always an active little kid. If I was climbing trees, and my nickname was Monkey, I was climbing up steps. It was pretty bad. And so it was pretty devastating when I heard I was going to get my legs cut off and couldn't do anything. But then when I was in middle school, this guy, Randy Mills, he works with all public schools in Louisville, Kentucky, and he was making sure that all, the disabled kids got around to the classes okay and all that kind of stuff. And he worked with rowing, and he said to come out and try it. So I came out and I loved it. I've done it ever since.
I was injured in a motorcycle accident 13 years ago, and basically, I went through 3 months in the hospital just to learn how to use a wheelchair. I was paralyzed from the chest down, and it was a devastating event, and I just spent 3 months sort of trying to figure out where my life was going to go, and I wound up meeting another guy who had had a previous similar injury 5 years prior, and he got me into wheelchair racing. So I started doing marathons with him. Fast forward till now, I was recently introduced to FES rowing on the Concept 2, and I had stopped marathoning in 2000, so it's been that long since I've been able to really get a good workout, cardiovascular and all body. So I've been doing that over at Spalding. One of the researchers over at Spalding picked up the study. It's just been, it's changed my life essentially in terms of, I'm 37 and I'm getting up there in age, and I wasn't really getting workouts like I think I should be. So this, the FES rowing on the Concept 2 has been tremendous.
It's obviously a rewarding experience to see someone get access to an activity that they may think isn't accessible, that they may believe isn't for them anymore after an injury, or maybe since birth if it's a congenital problem that they have or a disability they have. And to see someone be able to get a smile on their face, get their heart rate up, appreciate the same things that able-bodied folks do and take for granted. The benefits that you can gain from it aren't any different for an able-bodied person as a disabled person. So when you see that and you've been a part of it, it's extremely rewarding. I think I've been with Concept 2 for 18 years, and I think without any hesitation, this has been the most significant part of my tenure there.
I had no rowing experience prior to that. Never been on a boat. Never been on an indoor rower. So it took me a little while to adjust to it, but it's just incredible. I mean, just having that fluid motion and being able to incorporate my legs into the rowing is tremendous. My good cholesterol's up. My bad cholesterol's down. We've done VO2 max studies. My VO2 went up like 25% from when I started till now, which has been, I've been rowing for about 9 months now. Actually the biggest portion of it for someone with a spinal cord injury is that, you know, since your paralyzed muscles don't work anymore, they atrophy, so they just sort of wither away. So the FES, the functional electrical stimulation, has enabled me to put about an inch of muscle back on my legs, and also the bone, you know, the bone mineral, the bone density in your legs. Again, after spinal cord injury, you develop osteoporosis, and that's actually reversing right now with the FES combined with the rowing. So it's incredible. Just the overall effect has been unbelievable.
Rowing's become a big part of my life. If I'm not at school, if I'm not at work, I'm rowing. It's pretty much made me the person I am. It taught me to be really strong and to go for what I want and not listen to anyone else. And I've proved so many things for myself and for other people that people had no clue I could do. So it just gives me that chance to prove everyone wrong and show that this little tiny girl can do something.
The Crash B event started with modest beginnings, just as this race did. I think it was 81. I may be wrong about the year, but I believe it was 81 when the first Crash B was in the Harvard Boathouse, and it was about the same number of folks that came, and they were pioneers in that they were trying a machine they weren't sure of. They knew they liked rowing, but they didn't know what the contraption was, but they were up for it, gave it a try. Very similar to what just happened here today. These folks are also pioneers in their own way.